A lot of people think that Codex is only for developers and for writing code, but Codex has recently released some brand new features that make it a Claude Cowork competitor, and a lot of people are saying it's even better than Claude Cowork, and it's giving you the ability to actually create work, create Excel documents, create infographics, create images directly inside of Codex. And I think this is a much better option than doing that inside of ChatGPT. In this video, we are going to go start to finish. I'm going to assume you've never used Codex before, you're brand new to Codex, and you want to learn how to get the most out of Codex, even if you don't want to build apps, but you want to make yourself more productive. So to start, here we are inside of the Codex website. You have to download it onto your computer. So just click download for Mac OS. And then once you download it, you're going to go through the short onboarding. There's a button to connect to your ChatGPT account. So as long as you have a $20 ChatGPT account, you're going to be able to log in and start using Codex right away. And then we're going to be in the Codex homepage. Here we are in the Codex app, and I'm going to walk you through what you need to know before we actually start building. So again, this is the same app that developers are using to actually write code. I have lots of videos on how to use Codex to actually build apps, but the purpose of this video is how to get more productive using Codex. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So the first thing that you need to know about is the model that we're using. So here on the right side, we can see right now, we're on the latest GPT 5.5 model. I would recommend using the most powerful model. And then under intelligence, you can switch between low, medium, high, and extra high. I'm going to put us to medium. Now, this is basically a trade-off between the amount of tokens that it's going to use. So how quickly you're going to use up your rate limits. Extra high is going to do that more quickly. It's also going to take a little bit longer to get a response from extra high versus low. So low is going to be a quicker response, use less tokens, but it's going to be a little bit less intelligent. So I think medium is a good starting place. And then speed, we can go from standard to fast. Fast, again, 1.5x speed, but increased usage. So you're going to use up your rate limits a little bit more quickly. So if you're not in a rush, it's fine to just do the standard speed. On the bottom here, you need to know about projects. So projects are basically a way to work inside a folder on your computer. So unlike ChatGPT, which is all in the cloud, meaning that you could, log into your ChatGPT account, have all of your information on any device that you log in from, Codex is on your computer. So the projects, the files, everything is going to be on your local device. So what that means is if you are on another computer, you have Codex there, it's not going to have all the information we have here in the Codex on the current computer that you're using. So projects help us organize the work that we're in. It also gives Codex access to all of the files inside of a specific project, which is really helpful. So that could be, a coding project. So if you are building an app, all of the files could be in a project for that app, but it also could be in a knowledge work project. So if you want to create an Excel document, which we're going to do later on in this video, and you have the data, that can be inside of a project. The last thing you should know here about this input box is permissions. So there's default permissions, so it automatically runs commands in a sandbox. Auto review, it's going to use auto review for elevated requests, or full access. Codex has full access over your computer, elevated risk. So we're going to stick with default. A full access is cool because it just runs automatically without asking, but that is riskier. So we're going to go with default permissions for now. So the first example I'm going to show you is building some Excel analysis using data. So to do this, we're going to start by working in a project. So click on this bottom left of the chat input here. I'll create a new folder, Excel analysis, and open that. So now on the left side, you can see we have a new folder, which is a new project where all those files are going to live. And that's in my desktop folder on my computer. So again, this is working on my computer. We can see the project here. Right here. And now here inside of my Excel analysis folder, I'm going to add this CSV file of 100 sales records. These are just some sample data that I got online of 100 sales records in a CSV. So now what we're going to do is some analysis here about the document. So what's really cool is right off the bat, we can see it sees we have a CSV in our folder, and it's giving us a suggestion of what to do first. So check the CSV file for formula, assumption, and data quality problems. So I'm going to click that and we can see it's going to do this audit right now. It's treating it as a read-only spreadsheet audit. So again, it can read your files, but it also can write on your files too. So it can do both the file creation and also just the analysis as well. So here it knows it's just doing audit, so it's doing a read-only audit. So here we can see I audited the spreadsheet, no broken formulas, no missing values. The only issues are some trailing spaces and country names. The rest are outliers, not errors. So yeah, basically there are no issues. It ran this check of header duplication, missing values, formula scan. But you can see how all of these audits could be really, really useful in a document that had thousands of records and something that was really important. So right off the bat, really cool that it was able to do this. So now I'm going to have it do some analysis on this spreadsheet. I'm saying analyze the spreadsheet and please give me graphs of the sales data. Okay, so it created some graphs. It looks like it did it in an HTML format. And we can see it did this inside of our folder. So here's our folder. It created an outputs folder, sales graphs, and it created these graphs literally inside of our sales graph folder on our computer. Really, really cool. And then here we can see everything that it created. So revenue by region, profit by item type, yearly revenue trend, sales channel comparison, top 10 countries by revenue, units sold by item type. And it's designed really, really nicely. This is really cool, but I want to show you something even cooler. Not only can Codex create the charts and put it in this nice default design, we can have it make the design look like anything we want. So I'm going to send a prompt. Let's pretend these graphs need to be in the design style of Walmart. Can you please update the styling? So here are our newly designed charts. Something that I do want to point out that I noticed is that it took a screenshot of these so it could review the design before it approved it, which is cool. Just that kind of auto review that Codex has built in. And it's not perfect. Like, this is better than this. This logo is a little bit off, but as a first pass and just asking it to do it in like Walmart colors and Walmart design, pretty cool, pretty awesome that it's able to do this. And you could imagine having your own website and saying, hey, go look at my website and let's match these charts to that design style. So there's a lot that you can do here, but it's cool to see here what's possible and how you can go not only with the analysis, but also with the design style of the actual analysis as well. And now we're going to go one step further and say, based on the sales charts, create a new Excel file with a 1-year sales forecast. And this is going to show you that, not only can Codex create analysis, it can also create fully new Excel files. So here it's going to create a separate Excel forecast workbook, leave the CSV file plus the chart gallery alone, and it's going to base it based on the chart level patterns. So we can see on the left side that this is working because it has that little spinning icon here. And we could continue doing more tasks so you can multitask while this is running. Something else I want to show you while that's running is there's a / command called pet. And if we turn that on, we now have this little icon here on our computer. And what this means is we can go to our web browser, for example. So here I am in Safari, I'm on my web browser, but the desktop pet is still there. So here we can see what's happening. So we can go do other things. And this is actually really, really helpful and just a really cool trick that OpenAI has built into their app that allows us to let the AI run. And then we can do other things. You can watch YouTube videos, you can do whatever. And then when it's ready, we don't have to waste time. We will know when we have to come back and reply. All right, so it created this Excel document. Now we can click into it. So this is the other thing that I really like about Codex is you can preview documents inside of the app. You don't have to actually open this on your computer. But just to show you again, here we are in the Excel analysis folder in our computer. There's a new folder now called Sales Forecast. We have basically the 1-year sales forecast here. This is the Microsoft Excel file. But here we can see the sales forecast. So forecast revenue, profit, margin, units, and then the method that it used, 60% trailing, full year average. We have an assumptions tab, historical annual, monthly forecast, region forecast, item forecast. So just very, very cool and in-depth. Of course, if this were for a real business, we would want to put a little bit more thought into the inputs and the outputs, but just to show you kind of what's possible. And hopefully this is giving you some ideas of how you could use this for your own business. The next thing I want to talk about is Gmail. So Gmail is a brand new integration that's here in Codex. So all you have to do is you can go to plugins, click try and chat, and install Gmail. So you can allow ChatGPT to reference relevant chats and memories when sharing data with Gmail for more helpful responses. You can turn that on or off. Let's say off. It's going to redirect to Google. So you're going to sign in and confirm permissions on Google page. It is private and secure. So the data synced from Gmail could be used to provide relevant and personalized information, but they don't train models with it, except if it's submitted in feedback or included in ChatGPT's response. So just be aware of what data you're sharing, especially with something like Gmail, but you can delete this integration at any time. So let's say we want to install Gmail. You can click that button, and that's going to take you to Gmail where you can log in to your Gmail account. Then we can go to a new chat. So just on the bottom, new chat, we can at Gmail. It's going to allow us to read and manage our Gmail. And then we can say, hey, please triage our emails as they come in. If it's a spam or promotional email, you can archive. If it's an email from my family, please put it into the primary folder. So this is just an example of what you could do with Gmail. And if we send that off, it's going to connect to Gmail and have all the information. I'm not going to send that in this video just so we can keep my Gmail private, but just know that this is how it works. And it is a really cool feature that Codex has added, and it's something that Claude Cowork has as well. And a lot of these AI agent tools are going to start adding these types of Gmail integrations, but it's cool that it has it. And it's something that, again, a lot of people think of Codex as only an app development platform. That's how I thought about it until recently, but they're adding these new features that you should know about. And you can do something similar with Slack. For example, you can connect to Slack, have it read and manage Slack in the same way that you would read and manage Gmail. Google Drive as well. You can add Google Drive and actually have it create files and folders inside of Google Drive. And finally, the last thing that you should know about is skills. So if we go into skills on the top here, it's next to plugins. So it's a little bit hidden, but it's here on the top with skills. One that I want to show you is the inbox triage skill. So a skill is essentially a long prompt that when the AI thinks it's going to be necessary, it can use that skill. So the inbox triage skill, for example, that's turned on by default. So it's to build on the core Gmail skill. What it's going to do is have this workflow of defaulting to inbox, searching emails, excluding obvious noise, and bucketing and things like that to basically help manage your Gmail for you. So that's a cool thing that you should know about. Now, one last thing that I do want to show you in Codex is it's not only for text analysis or text creation. We can also use image gen to generate images. So if I do an at and I do image gen, generate and edit images using OpenAI, you can say generate an image of a mountain range. And we can actually generate images here inside of Codex. So here we go. We have our image generated by the image gen skill inside of Codex. This is really cool. And then if we click on that, we can see it is actually saved in our computer under the Codex folder. Codex creates a folder when it's downloaded on your computer. So this file, this folder, or this image is actually saved onto your computer. It is not just in the cloud. So just something else that you should be aware of when you're using Codex, but really cool that it has this functionality. And this is something that Claude does not have out of the box. You would have to connect to another service that has image generation. I hope that you learned something watching this video. And if you want to use Codex, but not to build apps, now you have some ideas of how you can use it for content creation and analysis. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date on everything going on in the AI world. Things are changing so quickly. So subscribe to our channel and you won't miss a single thing. And comment if you have any questions at all or anything you want me to cover in the future. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video.